Hey, what is going on, everybody? Epic Carnage here, bringing you guys a brand new video, and this is gonna be just kind of a commentary. I did record, as you guys can see in the background here, I did record all these videos with audio, but the audio is just kept on cutting in and out. The main reason probably for that was because I actually broke my ankle, so I was angled a different way to the mic, and I didn't know that it was actually not picking up my voice. So this time around, I'm going to be just kind of commentating over the video. It was a Conquest video. I did 2 games of it, and it was actually not that bad. The very first match, of course, it has to be Brooklyn. Don't ask me why. Brooklyn always wants to pop up when I make these videos. But first games I actually played within the Conquest, and it was actually midway through the game already by the time I actually joined the game. I know I just kind of brushed over, breaking my ankle, and I'm going to actually get into that just a little bit. So Friday the 13th, which was yesterday, as you guys can see, I actually was working. I was delivering my packages, and I got out of my vehicle going to deliver a package, and as soon as I got out of my vehicle, I rolled my ankle, and then all of a sudden I heard the most deepest pop ever. Like, I got out of the vehicle, landed on my left ankle a little wrong, and then all of a sudden I heard a nasty pop, and I collapsed to the ground instantaneously. I was like, ooh, that felt very bad. And then I was like, you know what? I think I could actually still walk. I think I might have just twisted my ankle. So I got back up, went and delivered that one package, and then literally by the time I got back into my van and took off my shoe and my sock, I had on my left ankle probably a softball size swollen ankle, if not maybe a baseball. I don't know which one is a little bit bigger, but it was a very big, and I was not actually expecting to. I thought it was literally because I've been doing this job for 5 years, and I just never broke any bones in my body. For the 29 years that I've been on this earth, I've never broken a body or broken a bone. It's been stress fractures. It's been, I think that's the only thing I actually had was actually a stress fracture on my foot. And just like I said yesterday, I was delivering my package. Everything was going good. Next thing I know, complete mayhem with me just getting out of the vehicle, breaking my ankle. By, I want to say, 10 o'clock at night, I was actually back home, and analysis was a broken ankle. And actually, give me 1 second. So what I actually broke was my distal fibula. I think that's how you actually pronounce it. I'm not too sure though if that's how you actually pronounce it, but yeah, it's just that bone ball right on the left or on the outside of your ankle. That's the thing that I broke, and now I'm actually out of work for I don't know how long. The doctor says that it's going to take a 4 to 6 week recovery, and I just can't. I can't just be sitting or being in crutches. I feel so vulnerable when that comes into play, and never thought I could actually break a bone. I know it's bound to happen no matter how you cut the cake. It's bound to happen to break a bone within your life, and I just was always being so cautious. We during every morning when I go to work, we have these little meetings, and one of the things I always say, for a safety tip is make sure you know how, where your foot is when you get out of the van so you don't twist it or break it. Come to find out, I just got out of the van because I was in the mode of I got to get this route done. I got to get a video posted, and I do apologize that this video is super late. I didn't know that the audio was going to be messed up, and I just been trying to get my car from my job because I actually had to leave it there overnight, which was nerve-wracking for me because I've never actually left my vehicle at the place that I work. So that was something that was very, very different for me. And just trying to, maneuver around my apartment and trying to get the prescriptions from Walgreens. It's just been kind of a rough day, trying to just get everything going and get everything situated. Luckily, I got workers' comp so that, I don't have to pay out of pocket. My company will pay for the broken bone and x-rays. So that's something that's very cool. It's just something very different, though, that because I've never, like I said, I know I keep on repeating myself, but it's something I've never actually done before, breaking a bone. And let me tell you guys, if you guys haven't broken anything, let me tell you, it's very different. Like, I didn't cry, which was very weird. I just got, I don't know, as soon as I broke my ankle, like as soon as I heard that deep pop in my ankle, I think got more adrenaline. You know, I started shaking a bit, so more than likely my body started going into shock a little bit. And, you know, like I said, it's just something that I wasn't really expecting. And not to mention, you know, when I did break my ankle, as soon as it happened, you know, I laid on the ground for a good minute, and then I got back up and then just went and delivered that package. I don't think I was actually supposed to do that. I think I should have just crawled back, just crawled back into the van and contacted my dispatcher and all that. I should have probably done that well before me just, you know, limping and, you know, trying to deliver that package. So that's something that I'll probably definitely learn. And it's very weird at this point in time because, you know, I'm so used to just being able to get up, go do something. But now it's like, oh, I have to go get up. I have to get up and go do something. Okay, where are my crutches? All right, where? I luckily, you know, I got a rolling chair for my gaming chair. So, you know, I'm able to just, you know, waddle around in my gaming chair to get around. So that's a little positive. It's very weird. You know, if you guys saw me, you guys would be like, that is one weird guy. Well, he's super lazy. Why isn't he just standing up, you know? So very weird that I'm actually able to just roll around in my apartment. You know, I'm barely able to fit through the doors with my chair. Because I'm not going to lie, you know, I don't like using crutches constantly. If I use my crutches, I can't do anything, you know. Both my arms are being used, so I can't carry anything. Luckily, you know, I had my backpack when I did have break my ankle, so I was able to just throw everything in my backpack, everything that's essential in my backpack, flip it on my back, and then just walk around with all my items in my backpack. So that's one of the good things, I guess, for backpacks. You know, just a little extra storage. And I do apologize that this video is very short. You know, it is just kind of an update. I will be jumping back into regular videos come tomorrow, so you guys don't have to worry about having all kinds of weird things going on with audio issues or anything of that nature. You know, I'd be able to just get back onto the horse. I just really wanted to update you guys on what was actually happening with me over the past Friday the 13th. You know, look, who would have thought Friday the 13th I would have actually broken my ankle? You know, everybody says, oh, that's bad juju or bad luck day. I'm starting to believe it, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm starting to believe that come Friday the 13th, I might just stay home from now on, you know? It sounds a little conspiracy theorist or kind of weird, but man, it definitely holds up to its name where Friday the 13th just has bad luck. And nobody in my family actually knew that it was Friday the 13th until I brought it up. And they're like, oh, of course it's Friday the 13th when you break your ankle. And, you know, even last month on Friday the 13th, a lot of, you know, my depression started kicking up. Anxiety was going hell hard. Maybe that was just a precursor of what was actually going to be happening to me. It's just gnarly for me to just be here now with a broken ankle. You know, like I said, I've been doing my job for 5 years. Never had an incident where I broke anything. You know, I got nipped at by a dog before, which, you know, nothing ever really happens from there. You know, it's just a little nip, you know, trying to make a positive thing out of this. And I guess what I'm trying to get at is, no matter if you're a good person or not, bad things can always happen to you, and you just got to look out for the positive. So the positive thing out of this is I don't think I need surgery at all. That's one big positive. Another big positive is I'm able to actually zero in and actually focus on YouTube for a little bit. And I feel like that's going to be very, very good for me because I am trying to make this as somewhat like a career. You know, I'm very far away. I only got 55 subscribers. Very small amount of people are subscribing to me, but I'm making an effort to make this a positive thing And that's one big thing I think everybody needs to take out of this video is no matter if it's good, bad, try to always find the better part out of a negative situation. Like for me, like I just said, you know, breaking my ankle, very bad. What's the positive out of it? I could focus on making YouTube videos. I could focus on bettering my content and, you know, just kind of relaxing, healing. The recovery process is very, very different for me. I don't like it. I'm just going to tell you straight up, I don't like it. I don't like just not being able to do what I want to do. It's very strategic at this point. Like, I do apologize. Like I said, this video is up very late because I got my vehicle, drove it home, and after that, I fell asleep. You know, I think my body just needed to rest. It's been a rough 24 hours, and I think, like I said, the best thing you guys could take out of this video is always look for the positives in life. Life will give you the most randomest curveballs, and you just gotta find the positive out of it. Even though it might be very bad, just do your best to look towards the positive part of, you know, just out of a negative situation. And the worst thing I think about this was usually I have my family around me and they'll be able to help me out. This time around, they're all out of state camping and I'm kind of just running it solo, which is, I guess I'm being an adult at this point. You know, it's very weird. You know, I don't like having a lot of big responsibilities like calling doctors, getting prescriptions, getting all this stuff organized. I don't like it. I like things just being a little bit more simple for just my life in general. I think that's everybody as well in the world. It's like they like to have more of a simpler route rather than just going against the grain. I don't mind working extremely hard towards something that I enjoy, like these YouTube videos. I don't mind working my butt off and just trying to get my career going and trying to make the best of my life. And I do enjoy making these videos. You know, I could have easily just been like, you know what, the streak ends after 130 days or 140 days. The streak ends. I could have easily done that and just blamed it on making it an excuse of me not making a video because I broke my ankle. That's, in my eyes, that's not a good enough excuse. I could easily still record, and that's why I'm making this video for you guys real quick. But yeah, guys, that's the end of the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, smash that thumbs up button. Leave down in the comments below if you guys have ever broke anything, fractured anything, torn anything. Let me know down in the comments below. And like I said, you know, always look for the positive in a negative situation. I'm trying my best to find the positive in this situation. If you guys did enjoy it, like I said, though, smash that thumbs up button. Don't forget to leave down in the comments below if you guys broke anything, torn anything, fractured anything. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and that notification bell, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace. I'm just gonna blame that on my ankle. Oh, I think they were thinking I was gonna run into the building. I definitely just mind screwed.